All right, welcome. Today we're going to jump right into one of the most compelling and honestly profound concepts in the entire Law of One material, the beings known as the Wanderers. We're going to stick really close to the original text here, using Ra's own language to explore who they are, why they're here, and the incredible challenges they choose to face.
So let's just start with the question that sits at the very heart of this. Just think about it for a second. Is it possible that right now, living among us, are souls from far more advanced realities, souls who have voluntarily chosen to be here, on this often difficult planet, for one reason: to help?
Okay, first things first. To really get our heads around this, we need a solid definition, and we're gonna get it straight from the source itself. So, who are the Wanderers?
At its core, a wanderer is what the raw material calls a mind-body-spirit complex, basically a soul that comes from a higher density. Now, density isn't a place, it's a level of consciousness, a plane of existence. And the two most important words you see here are choice and service. This isn't some kind of cosmic accident, it is a very deliberate, very conscious mission.
And the material gets incredibly specific about their origins. Ra states that these wanderers come from two particular densities, the fifth and the sixth. Again, these aren't planets, they're states of being. The fifth density is described as the density of light, or wisdom, and the sixth, that's the density of love/light, or what we might call pure unity consciousness.
So, this brings us to the big why, doesn't it? I mean, why would a soul from a reality of unity or pure wisdom choose to come here, to a reality that is so much, well, denser and more confusing? The answer, in a word, is service.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Their main job isn't to build spaceships or become world leaders, not necessarily. Their primary mission is to be what's called a passive catalyst. Just think of a tuning fork. Their very presence here, their innate higher vibration of love and light, just by existing, helps to raise the entire planet's frequency. It's a mission of being, not just doing.
I absolutely love how Carla Ruckert, who was the instrument for the raw contact, put it. She really brings it down to earth. Their main mission is just to live, to be here, breathe the air, and let that inherent love that they are flow. It's so simple, and yet so incredibly profound.
Now, that's not to say their contributions are always passive. The material points to some pretty direct interventions. For instance, Ra suggests a wanderer was responsible for bringing through the equation for nuclear power, which was meant to be a tool for service, not for weapons. And they also identify the being we know as Jesus as a wanderer, one who managed to remember much more of his true nature than almost any other.
But, and this is a huge but, this mission comes at a staggering cost. Because to incarnate here, in our third density world, you have to pass through what the Law of One calls the veil of forgetting. And this creates the fundamental agonizing paradox of being a wanderer. Just look at this contrast. It's jarring. They come from a reality of complete unity and connection, only to be plunged into the illusion of separation and alienation. They come from a state of total self-knowledge, and bam, they're hit with total amnesia. The ease and flow of their native density is replaced by the friction of physical limitations, of pain, of a world focused on self instead of all. It's a brutal trade-off. So, as you can imagine, this leads to some very specific, very difficult challenges. A deep, persistent feeling of not belonging, of being an alien on your own planet. Many suffer from strange physical ailments, almost like an allergic reaction to the planet's lower vibration. And then there's that nagging feeling, that deep, unshakable memory that there's a better, more harmonious way to live.
Carla, speaking from her own personal experience as a wanderer, just nails it right here. It's this constant, low-level suffering that comes from being in a vibratory environment that is not your own, combined with this faint, almost torturous memory of home, of a better way.
Okay, so you might be thinking, if they forget everything, how on earth is their mission ever supposed to succeed? Well, this is where a fascinating concept called the activation comes into play. You can think of it like a pre-planned alarm clock for the soul.
It turns out there's a kind of fail-safe. Before they even incarnate, many wanderers arrange for a specific catalyst. It could be a person, an event, a powerful dream that's designed to go off at just the right time in their life. It's a trigger meant to start waking them up to who they are and why they came here.
And Ra actually breaks this process down for us. First, a contact is made, usually not physically, but in a dream or trance.
Step 2, this contact gives the conscious mind some kind of symbology, something it can grab onto. Third, a sort of seeming memory is then planted in the subconscious. And finally, the goal is achieved. The person has that sudden, powerful feeling of being awakened, like a light switch has been flipped on, and they remember there's a much deeper purpose to their life.
So let's zoom out for a minute and look at the real big picture here, because the Wanderer's entire journey, with all its struggles and triumphs, is really a perfect reflection of the core philosophy of the Law of One.
Ultimately, what Wanderers are here to do is to be a living, breathing demonstration of this one, single, vital statement from the Confederation of Planets, that everything and everyone, all of creation, is just a part of one original thought. They're here as living reminders of the unity we've all forgotten in the fog of third density.
So in a way, their personal struggle, forgetting who they are and then fighting to remember, is a perfect mirror for the journey of our entire planet. It's the path we are all on, whether we realize it or not. The path from the painful illusion that we're all separate back to the beautiful, undeniable truth that we are all one.
And this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. This grand cosmic mission, this path of remembering unity. It's not found by going to a monastery or becoming a hermit. As Carla so beautifully reminds us, it's found in the mundane. The sacred is in the everyday. The mission is fulfilled by washing the dishes, by running errands, by doing it all with a loving and present awareness.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. At the end of the day, whether you identify with the label wanderer or not, it doesn't really matter. The real question this idea brings up is about our own potential. What does the sheer possibility of such a selfless mission of service tell us about our own capacity to serve, to radiate love, and to find us sacred right here, right now, in our own ordinary lives?